Welcome to another episode of Shredthology, episode 9. So, what's been up, y'all? How have you been in this awesome world that we all exist in? Things have been going pretty good on my end. I recently picked up a sponsor with Orangutan wheels, which I am super hyped to announce. The guys over at Otang are stoked that I'm trying to bring the community to life and get some fire back into the air. So yeah, they're working with me to help make that happen. So it couldn't be more hyped to working with Otang. Been having a real good time on their wheels lately, and yeah, stoked to be back on. A couple things have happened. The great thaw, or the mild warming in the Pacific Northwest has begun. So, needless to say, we had about 4 days of beautiful 60-degree sunny weather, followed by a week of rain, and then another nice day. So we took full advantage of that, and we brapped out to Hood River with a crew and skated this really gnarly, steep, windy road called and it was super fire. Really steep, windy, perfect pavement, slide city. The top section was just kind of like a big left, right, left chicane, all kind of dropping. And then it shot you into this like big left-right combo S sweeper. And after that, it got much, much steeper. The pavement got much crappier. Whereas like on one half the pavement was crap, the other half the pavement was fine. And then just shot you into this super insane, super steep descent where all you could really do was spear Pindy. So yeah, many wheels were killed. After that session, we drove back to Portland, and on the way back, hit a local favorite called Vista, in which Vista House resides. And Vista House is like a big octagonal building on top of a cliff overlooking the Columbia River Gorge that has a super sweet, windy, perfectly paved double yellow line road that you could drive down to a waterfall from the top. So we take full advantage of that and skate until we can't skate anymore. It's a really good time. And we got some footage, so keep an eye out. The footage is going to be coming to you via Good Vibe Tribe PDX. For those of you that don't know, Good Vibe Tribe PDX is a community skate media group that just puts out feel-good media of rad skateboarding in and around the Pacific Northwest. From videos like Mary Hill to the Northwest Hills to Malibu and Bear Junction and back. We've got a lot of cool stuff in the works. Really stoked individuals, part of that crew. We're going to be happy to bring you some cool media. So keep an eye out for that video. It should be coming up in the next couple weeks here. A lot has happened in terms of cool new media coming out, and I want to talk about that. But first, I want to tell you all that I've been having this fascination with the color yellow. And yeah, I wanted to share that with you. So today we've got some yellow things to show off. So first and foremost, for those of you who have a caffeine problem or a caffeine solution, depends on how you look at it, you might find yourself drinking coffee way too much or just feeling complete overwhelming anxiety thanks to drinking too much caffeine. Energy drinks that make you agitated, coffee that makes you trip out and not be able to focus and get your work done properly. I've always found that sugar-free energy drinks were the solution when that kind of thing happened, but I just didn't really like how hot and shaky they made me feel. So I got on the Guayaki Yerba Mate train. Check it out. Yerba Mate. Comes in this nice yellow can. I got the Revel Berry flavored. It's an organic tea that gives you a nice boost. It's a real clear, kind of refined caffeine that makes you just kind of do your best and put in your best effort and really just keep on track and just kick ass what you're doing, but not have any of the crappy side effects that caffeine normally gives you. You still get a little bit dehydrated with this one, but you know, you can drink some water with that. And yeah, just no twitchiness, no anger, no kind of like lost on your phone kind of bullshit with this stuff. Yeah, if you're looking for a nice energy drink or replacement for coffee or tea, I would definitely recommend trying Guayaki Yerba Mate. And hey, Guayaki, if you're reading this, this stuff practically fuels my scene's skate sessions. So hey, hit us up at Shredthology. Maybe you can work something out. Send your boy a box, eh? Okay, another yellow thing I have, what I want to show you guys and talk about a bit, is this new skateboarding helmet with a yellow strap. This is a S1 helmet. Out of all the downhill helmets I've used, downhill helmet meaning that it's hard foam and CSPC certified level 2. Basically, this one is probably one of the best. It fits the best. It's pretty low profile. It's got lots of range of options to fit all sorts of head shapes and sizes, and it's just really comfy. Fits snug around the head, keeps your dome a little bit airy because all the holes and ventilations, and yeah, you can even strap some little GoPro mounts on there, no problems there. And yeah, just vibing on this yellow strap. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you're looking for a new downhill helmet and you know, want something that'll last a while and keep your dome safe, which I highly recommend doing if you're skating down hills and can't run faster than 25 miles an hour, because you know, sometimes you run off your board and can't catch yourself in time and shit happens. So save your brain, wear a helmet, check out S1, they're dope. Yeah, and then something else I'm really stoked on is these yellow Skiffs from Orangutan Wheels. Yes, the yellow thing you love in a 62 millimeter 86A, super narrow shape with a nice pink core that's supportive. I'm super hyped to try these wheels out. I'm kind of getting more into freestyle and trying like a lot of flat ground stuff. So I've always been interested in the yellow urethane from Otang. I just remember my buddies sliding around like it was butter on some orangutan yellow in-heats back in the day. So yeah, never tried them out myself, but hey, with a shape like that and a super yellow fanny wheel, you can't really go wrong. So yeah, I'm really stoked to try these out. They also make yellow wheels in other shapes like durians and stimulus and fat freeze, which are all kind of more free ride downhill grip shapes. This one's more of a freestyle and tech slidey shape. So yeah, you know, try that yellow thing. All right, guys and girls. Okay, now moving on. There's a couple new videos that and new channels that I wanted to like mention today. First, in the world of podcasts, there are 2 skate podcasts which have caught my eye recently. The first being the Get That Skate podcast. Shout out to Get That Skate. They've been putting in work down under in Australia for a while now, just talking about cool things that really brighten my day to listen to, all centered around downhill skateboarding. Jack Main and Harry Clark and the guys over at Get That are doing a real cool job. They're showcasing the local talent in Australia, doing a real good job with that. They've got some shirts they're selling. They've got some real cool videos. They're really just like helping promote the scene in Australia. You can follow them on Instagram at Get That Skate, that's SK8, and watch their videos on YouTube. If you like skate podcasts like mine, go check out Get That Skate. They're doing a real good job. They're really authentic, and yeah, they're talent from the heart, which is what we're all here to do. Yeah, fuck yeah, Get That. Another awesome podcast which just started, which I am looking forward to more episodes, is the Motion Board Shop podcast. Now, if you know Motion Board Shop, you probably think of Nate Blackburn. Well, one thing you might know about Nate is the dude is hilarious. And hilarious because, horribly funny, bad shit happens to him all the time, and all those associated with him. So he's made it a point in life to really just tell the tales and, make it a little bit more funny and enjoyable for everyone else. So, the first episode, he has a guest, Dustin Ashman, who is also known as Monkey, who's a rad photographer from the Pacific Northwest. I see him around the hills sometimes here in Portland. And it's always funny when those two get together and talk shit and just talk about the, funny interactions they've had. And they talk about some of the tours they've gone on in the past. And it's just really interesting to hear the kind of shenanigans those two get up to. So, go check out Get That Skate and Motion Board Shop podcasts on YouTube. Those are two really entertaining podcasts, which I recommend checking out. I think you guys will enjoy them. Okay, a couple other videos and channels I wanted to talk about. Liam Morgan has a new YouTube channel, which is pretty much just him sending it in old raw runs. I'm pretty stoked on that. I think Liam has been sitting on some bangers for a long time. So I'm really hyped to finally see them hit the light of day. Watching this video right now called Close Calls with Cars in Africa. And just get to see Liam in his raw dog style, just cruising down the hill, blasting some fane lines, going uncomfortably fast. Doing it for the camera, doing it hard since 2012. Fuck yeah, Liam. Keep on killing it, brother. Another little channel I wanted to talk to you about was Linked Media. So Linked Media, who is ran by a guy named Luke Spodolsky, he's been killing it behind the lens in the follow car for a few years now. Where Alex Amin kind of left a pretty big gap in the raw run kind of world of filming downhill skateboarding. I think Linked Media has really kind of owned up to that legacy and put out some really good work. They've got a video coming out in the last week of March, which is going to be a 2020 supercut, and I'm stoked on this one coming out. They've got some really banger videos of Cole and Lars and Chase and other people who have just been like kind of gracing our screens all of 2020. So really looking forward to that video. It's going to be super sick. So keep an eye out for that from Linked Media. And those are kind of like the channels I wanted to shout out and mention today. You can go watch those videos in the links below or go to the channels and check them out. Next, I wanted to talk to you guys about some funny shit that we've all kind of had to deal with, and that is the brick. Yes, the elusive brick. What is the brick, you may ask? Well, the brick's eating shit on your skateboard. We've all done it. We've all seen it. We've all laughed at it. We've all cried because of it. Yeah, the brick. So, I want to talk about a couple of the worst bricks I've had, a couple of the worst bricks I've seen in videos, and where bricks might happen and how to stop them from happening. That's the goal, right? I was living in Boise, Idaho at the time, and I figured, man, I really want to skate with some people who are like pushing the envelope and downhill. Boise was relatively a new scene when it comes to downhill skating, so I wanted to branch out, go out to some new areas and skate with some people who were a little bit better than me so I could learn more and advance. So I moved out to Portland, Oregon, met up with some local dudes, Joel Hill, Noah Throckmorton, and Landon Jackson, and they took me to this local downhill run called McNarly. Now, here's where it went wrong. I changed my setup before I went to the hill, so I thought, okay, I'm going to change the bushings in my front truck and make them a little softer, and change the bushings in my back truck to make them a little harder so that I could have a better like kind of steering from the front kind of feel. So I shuttled the first run and just scoped out the road to see how it was, and then second run, nerves are kind of getting to me, and I'm like, okay, as long as I keep the other guys I'm skating with in view, I'm gonna be fine. I just need to follow their line and see what they do. So Joel and Noah and Landon drop in, and I drop in, and I'm trying to keep up with them. Now, generally how we skate this road today is the first couple corners you do little slides for. But back then, they were kind of hoonigans and trying to go balls to the wall, so they didn't slide the top section. So they lose me, and I'm trying to keep up just to be able to see where they're at. Coming in this big right corner that has a bunch of chunder right in your lane, so you kind of have to slide before the chunder and then grip slide through the corner, or you can slide through the chunder and pray that you can stay on your board. Well, I didn't know the chunder was as bad as it was, so what ended up happening was I put my hand down for a toe side pre-drift. That's when you yank the board towards you and kick out your back foot behind you, and I was grabbing rail with my right hand on the ground and going very fast, probably around 40 miles an hour, I'd say. And as soon as I hit the chunder, the board hooked up, and basically what happened was the board kept going straight, and I moved my body in the way of the drift, but kind of just fell off my board. So I was going around 40 miles an hour on all fours, and this corner is pretty sharp. It's a big right hand like this, and there's a wall of just hill and ferns with a ditch. I slide on my knees and my hands at about 40 miles an hour. Don't really slow down at all. I have a full face helmet on, luckily, and I just go full Superman into the wall. Yeah, just fully just slap, like Looney Tunes style, into the wall. Landon, Joel, and Noah are nowhere to be seen. They're long gone. And yeah, so I slapped the wall, rolled into the ditch, and came to pretty quickly, but I was seeing kind of like flashes and stars. So I was like, oh man, I'm not good. So I get up, check myself out, didn't really do a good job with it, but figured, okay, I need to get down. This doesn't feel right. So I sit down on my board, and I'm cruising down the hill, get down to the bottom where they're at, luckily, and I stand up and I'm like, I'm fucked. Like, I just hit the wall going full speed, Superman style. They all look very concerned. I try to take my helmet off, and immediately everything turns like white. Like, shock kind of sets in, the adrenaline's starting to wear off, and all the like light that's reflecting off the ground and the trees is just burning hot white. I try to take my sweater off, but my arm's not moving. Like, my right shoulder is just stuck and it won't move, so I can't lift it up or take off my sweater. I asked my buddy if he could help me take my sweater off, and he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know, like my arm's kind of fucked, I think. And he's like, okay. So he helps me take my sweater off, and I look down, and my shoulder is forward and down, fully out of the socket. I don't know what to do. I've never had my shoulder dislocate. No one there has had their shoulder dislocate. My buddy Noah had some medical training, and he asked if he wanted me to help, if I needed help putting it back in, and I did. So I asked him to go ahead and give it a shot. We tried a couple things, nothing really worked. The muscles were super tight, and shit was just stuck. So we ended up going to the hospital, had me sit in the waiting room for about 45 minutes with the shoulder out of socket, which was some of the most excruciating pain I've ever been in. And eventually they put it back in, and I was in a sling for a few weeks, lost my job, and was really, really pissed off at skateboarding for a while. To an extent, I had the thoughts that I just shouldn't be skating at that level, and that I didn't want skateboarding to ruin the chances of me having a career and doing something that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise if I was to experience a catastrophic injury due to skateboarding. And I posted about that on Facebook and wanted to hear what other people's thoughts were. And I was actually really surprised. Some locals and some people who were really supportive reached out and said, hey man, like, you're taking this the wrong way. Like, yes, it sucks. Yes, it happens. But like, you shouldn't look at it through that lens. Like, this is something that gives you joy and you love to do, and there's going to be consequences, but it's not worth sacrificing that joy and stoke that it brings to you and other people just because something might happen. And I took that to heart, and I thought, you know what? If I am gonna keep doing this, then I need to make sure that I am as safe as humanly possible. And firstly, that starts with, of course, having the skill and having the confidence to know what my limits are and not push them, and also just be aware of my surroundings. So I bought a spine protector and really just hit the ground running with learning all the basics from scratch. I wanted to learn how to slide again. I wanted to learn how to do pre-drifts. And basically, whereas before this happened, I was a very much kind of stand-up skater and grip and rip skater, didn't really do much hands-down sliding. I wanted to reinvent my skateboarding in a way that was kind of personal safety focused first. So I came up with some tenets to tell myself and kind of remind myself of before I skated, and I'll share those with you in a second, and kind of force myself to learn how to skate in the most safe way possible, which at the time, given the scenario I was in and the setting I was in, which was Portland, and like mostly a downhill mecca, I learned how to do hands down downhill riding. So that, downhill riding was like my main focus of how to do it safely. And then over time, I would kind of bring the original stand-up style into that and kind of merge the two. So yeah, if that wouldn't have happened, I definitely wouldn't have been the skater I am today and have many of the experiences that I have today. Haven't dislocated my shoulder since, knock on wood, and been doing a lot of PT, and that's just one of the things that happens. Stoked I didn't die. Yeah, so let's talk about another one. Another really bad brick I had. This one happened in Boise. It was the first event I ever threw. It was called the Yak to the Future Race and Slide Jam. We found this nice sandy downhill run out in the boonies in the middle of the summertime, and it had a guardrail on the whole thing. Probably got you going around 40 miles an hour. Big bomb to a right chicane, into a big left, never-ending left, and then into a straightaway, and then into a left chicane. And at the very end of the left chicane is where we had the finish line. So, which was also lined by a guardrail. Classic. So we were racing. We had about 10 people racing, so I thought, fuck it, I'll race. Even though it's my event, like, let's get some even heats. Ended up making it to the finals, and I was charging to try to like catch up with this local Grom kid named Parker Schmidt. And we're going into the first corner. I'm like riding his tail. I'm trying to catch his draft. We're going in the left. I'm right behind him. Dude behind me slides out. I grip through the whole thing, which I've never done before. And we're coming in the last left. And I'm like, okay, the only way I can make this happen is if I grip it. And yeah, famous last words. Basically, Parker, who's a lighter dude than me, doesn't carry as much speed and can grip through the corner, but I slub out, and I'm basically slubbing in a straight line at the entrance of the corner and heading full speed towards the guardrail. And I'm like, wow, I'm going about 35 miles an hour, and I'm about to get a face full of guardrail. So the only thing I could think of at the time, which was lay down and try to go under it. Well, I had a t-shirt on at the time. The road was covered in sand, and it was old sand-blasted pavement. So as you can imagine, I tried to hit the brakes with my back and my butt, and that was some of the most agonizing road rash I've ever had. But I didn't hit the guardrail, went under it, didn't even get my knees scraped, just a massive hole in my back and my ass. And that was some of the most painful shit ever, especially like the first 2 weeks. I had to go to work after taking an excruciatingly painful shower, and I had to put the gauze on my back, which was the most hard to reach place, like literally like right here, all the way back towards the spine and over to the shoulder blade, which just sucks. That shit didn't heal for about 2 months. It was some of the most painful shit I've ever had to go through. Moral of that story is, if you're gonna win a race, be out in front first and stay out in front. Don't try to make a last minute desperate pass. So yeah, with those kind of bails, I kind of made a little bit of a tenant list to tell myself, kind of like a credo before I skate to keep myself safe. And I usually don't tell people this, but heck, I'll share them with you. Here's what they are. It's find your line, have a great fucking time. Pretty self-explanatory. Know your limits, push your boundaries, and try new tricks. And skate switch. Let the road do the riding for you. I think that kind of means don't fight the road. Just kind of let it take you where it wants you to go and use it to your advantage. Stay classy, don't hurt yourself. That's a big important one. Stay on your board. Yep. Breathe. Be confident. Yep. Be aware of your surroundings, always. Also good. Skate with your friends. Very good. Represent the Sunset Sliders, because, you know, gotta handle with style. Skate like the Bones Brigade. That shit just fires me up. I always rip harder when I think I'm in the Bones Brigade. Skate for Shred Boise and PDX Downhill and Good Vibe Tribe. And above all else, skate for me. That's what I do. Let's see, what else? Be one with your board, make it feel good. So yes, the more at one you feel with your board, the better control you have, which is very good. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, those are my tenets that I tell myself before I skate, so I don't fuck up. You can borrow them if you want. They're good and they work. Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next segment, guys. We're going to talk about some of the gnarliest crashes ever caught on film. Yeah, I hope you guys were expecting to see some gnarly bails today, because, yeah, we're going in. We're going in. That's the theme, I guess, is the yellow things I like and pain. So, got a couple videos pulled up here. I'm just going to talk about them. I'll try to overlay them in the video so you guys can take a look at them yourself. First up, Josh Newman. Welcome to Paris Trucks. Yes. So once upon a time, I tried riding Paris Trucks, and I found out that sometimes when you slide, they have like a weird hookup. Oh, and the carnage begins. And they kind of just flip you off the board, and you eat mad shit in high side. And yeah, you know, you gotta embrace the wiggle. I found out how to use them later on. You kind of just have to like finesse it, and if you try to manhandle it too hard, you slap like that. Yeah, basically this whole video is Josh Newman's Welcome to Paris Trucks video, and it's literally just him eating shit ridiculously hard the whole video. So yeah, good job, Josh. Best welcome to the team video ever made. It was sick. Yeah, another really, really gnarly crash, which I'm sure some of you have seen, is James Kelly in Arbor Skateboards Burn It Down. Yeah, so in this clip, James is probably going around 55, 57 miles an hour. I'm going to give maybe 58, maybe 60, and just suddenly gets speed wobbles and goes straight to his knee. And then Superman slides about 100 yards into a ditch. No knee pads. Probably not. Probably didn't have G-forms on. I'm sure that hole in that leg is still fucked up. And yeah, as a person who's also had a very gnarly hole in their leg, you can kind of see it right there. Yeah, it's not fun. So wear knee pads if you don't want to have skin grafts in your knees. Yeah, knee pads. I'm a very big advocate of them. Now let's talk about a guy, a crew named Kebab, also known as Red Dirt Motion. Now they went ahead and captured an enormous amount of footage from all their local sessions with all their homies in the Midwest, and they made a video about it and called it Downhill Skateboarding Exposed. Now these are some of the greatest videos ever made. It's literally just showing all these skaters kind of blowing it, and it's really kind of what downhill skateboarding is in a nutshell. For about 100% of the skating that's done, 10% of that is epic and caught on film and makes you want to be a sponsored skateboarder and shit like that. And about 80% is hanging on for dear life and hoping you don't die. And the other 10% is eating enormous shit. So, yeah, it's a pretty good ratio. You know, 10% being a total badass, 10% being a total failure, and 80% finding survival in the most fun way possible. That's why we all do it, right? Downhill skateboarding exposed, guys. Thanks for blowing it for everybody that doesn't know what we're doing, and now they know what we're doing, and yeah, we're doing it. No, I'm just kidding. Those videos are amazing. Good job, Kayvon. Fucking rad. Another crash, which I really, really enjoyed watching, and you will too, I'm sure, is by the homie, Bill Rice. William Royce is in Colombia skating for an S1 helmet video. Here he goes up a wall, and comes down, gets wheel bite, and goes straight to his face. And this wall is about, it's a big wall. He's probably about 8-9 feet in the air. And yeah, he just gets wheel bite. His board stays at the top of the wall. Gravity does the rest. It looks like he tries to drag his knee on the ground and catch himself with his hands, but when you hit something that's not moving going that fast, you generally keep trying to go through it. And unfortunately, it's not water, so you kind of just stop moving. And he scorpions a little bit. Maybe a reverse scorpion. Yeah. You guys, when you eat shit, try to roll. It's the move. If you learn how to roll out of a fall, then you will have a way better time skateboarding. This is for park, for street, for vert, for downhill. Yeah, I mean, don't roll if you're sliding on your knees and your hands, but if you're flying forward completely out of control, try to make a roll out of it. It might just help you. Shit will. You're real good at eating shit, bro. Oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that. Next video. Hey, Max Dubler. What a hero. He made a learning curve video about the time he almost died in Colorado. Yeah, they're skating this downhill run. Apparently he just tweaked his setup too, like I did when I dislocated my shoulder. And yeah, it just didn't really shut down in time, sat down on his board and went flying off the road into some trees on his board. And it was not rad. But he had leathers on, so that's probably good. And had a spine protector, saved his ass. Yeah, big ups to you, Max. When I dislocated my shit and was looking for a spine protector, I asked you what kind to get, and you recommended the POC soft foam spine protector vest, and it is dope as hell. I really, really am stoked on it. You know what? I'll show you guys real quick what's up with that. Easy access. Yeah, so this is it. The POC vest is just like a vest that you can put a spine protector in, and it's soft, so when it's close to your back, it gets soft and folds to the creases on your back. But it's made of the same kind of impact foam that G-forms are, so a little harder though. When you hit, it stiffens up. So all the energy that hits it makes it not move. So in theory, if you were to hit a tree, like say like this, it would stay in this position. It wouldn't fold back on itself. So yeah, it might just save your life, guys. If you're skating down open roads, get a spine protector. Next video. There's an event which happens in Ohio called the Soldiers of Downhill, run by my good friend Dan Oliver. There was a luge crash in 2016 where there's a two-man heat between Darius Eskandar and Bob Schwartz. Schwartz caught air at 70 miles an hour, and yeah, he flies into the guardrail going about 75 to 0 on a luge, laying down. So I would not have wanted to be at this event or hosting it when this happened. You hate to see it. When luges crash, it's never good because they don't really have the time to catch themselves like you might have on a skateboard. Sometimes they just have to ride it out. Like, it's hard to hit the brakes when you're laying down, you know? Yeah, just caught some air and damn, looks like a fun road. Yeah, that's a bad crash. Just straight into the wall. Wow, bounced off the wall. Hate to see it. Oh man. Oh, they're playing it in reverse. Oh god, he just flopped. Boom. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, so it looks like what happened was Darius hit the wall. Schwartz crashed into the hay bale and the guardrail, and then Darius couldn't see anything, and he just went full speed into the wall, and he was pretty fucked. Yeah, not much could help you there, you guys. Hitting something that's not moving going fast, like I said, it's fucked. But Darius is okay. He's still around. He still luges. He threw Maryhill Windwalk and did a pretty damn good job. So shout out Darius. I'm glad you're all right, bud. That was a gnarly crash. And yeah, just you know, meat, Hall of Meat. And no one wants to be on the receiving end of that. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of my thoughts on what can help prevent some shit eating. So I'm just gonna kind of rifle off some of the thoughts I have. Hopefully they'll help you out, and if not, comment in the links below and tell me what you think. Okay, first off, if you're skating slow and you're not trying to mob and you're trying to like have fun, don't skate grippy wheels. Skate slidey fun wheels. If you're trying to skate blood orange Morgans and you're going 20 miles an hour and you're trying to slide a lot, you're gonna have a bad time. You're probably gonna fucking high side or low side, or the wheels aren't gonna kick out at all and you're just gonna slap and eat shit. So yeah, just make sure that you're skating wheels that are good for the type of riding you're doing. Whereas if you're skating 45 miles an hour on open roads and you want to shed some speed and also look like a boss and leave thane lines on the ground, and know what you're doing and handle your shit, then maybe ride Blood Orange Morgans. Those are good for that. Another thing, wear the proper safety equipment. Know your limits. If you don't skate well and you fall a lot, put something on your knees and, you know, just know your limits. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you're a total badass when in reality you're just gonna try to grip a never-ending right and you're gonna go blow lane and crash into someone's trash can or pint-sized dog. Yeah, another takeaway of how to not eat shit. Progress at a level of skating that is based in reality and is something you can do feasibly. Don't try to charge the biggest hill in your city if you're just learning how to skate on down a hill. Like, you can't go from skating down a hill that has no stop signs and uphill run out at the bottom that's top 25 miles an hour to skating a gnarly downhill run with multiple flats and horrific pavement and traffic lights and cars everywhere. It's not going to work out. You've got to be aware of your surroundings. You've got to be able to know what you're capable of. And part of keeping yourself skateboarding for a long time is knowing where you stand in your environment, in your terrain. So you got to know your limits. You got to know. Skate somewhere safe. Skate somewhere, you know, away from traffic. Skate with people who will have your back and can look out for you. And, you know, maybe take a run off if you're feeling tired, if your legs just aren't up to it. Just because people say, hey, let's get a bonus run, doesn't mean you have to. Just got to know how tired you are and what your energy levels are. And hey, if you're skating a road that doesn't make you comfortable because there's a big ass cliff on the edge and there's no guardrail, don't skate it. You don't need to skate it. You can not skate it. It's, you know, live to skate another day kind of mentality. You know, you've got to have confidence in your abilities. That's one of the key players in skating downhill is you've got to know what you're capable of doing, and you've got to know that you're going to be able to handle your shit when shit hits the fan. After a while, you kind of build up an intuition and like a sixth sense of sorts that kind of steps in when you can't think fast enough to make decisions yourself, and it can save your ass. It's happened to me before, but you can't rely on that. You know, if it becomes a part of your skating, then maybe you can, but that takes a long time. So, you know, just keep at it, keep yourself safe, and yeah, just keep skating. Do it for fun. You don't need to push it too hard, you know. There's always time. Skateboarding isn't going anywhere. And also, when you're hurt, don't skate. I know you really want to. It's really fun. You want to get back out there and have a great time, but like, just give your body a chance to heal fully. Like, there's no point in going out and skating on a bricked ankle. It's just going to get hurt more, and you're going to be off your board longer. You know, there's a time and a place to skate, and you got to be in your top physical and mental conditions to do it. If you're not having a good day and you're mentally drained and you don't really think you can make wise decisions or are feeling a little out of it, maybe don't skate something gnarly, just cruise around. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you guys how to skate, but those are some suggestions on how to stay in the game a little longer and, you know, keep your shit working so that you can pursue those dreams of yours